Red Army Standard 7.62 by 39, 123 grain. The package says it's lead core, but does that mean it's free of steel? Dun, da, 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 dun, dun, da, Alright guys, for today's Vlog Thursday, we're going to be looking at the Red Army Standard 7.62 ammo. And here's the reason why. So I picked this stuff up, noticing that it said lead core. And I was like, what? We got lead core, steel case, non-corrosive. I'm like, that's a pretty good 7.62 round for maybe taking to go training. Like I go down to front sight sometimes and they don't allow anything that's got steel core or any steel in the projectile. And so when I read lead core, I got very excited, especially at that price. Okay, and this is actually kind of a high price for this stuff. You can probably get it for considerably less. $6 and under probably. Anyway, my point is, I was excited because I thought I might be able to take this and do some training with. Again, other schools may be totally fine with bimetal jacketed rounds, but front sight, which is near me where I have a membership, does not allow anything that attracts a magnet. So I was like, yeah, I want some of this if it's lead core. So I picked up 2 boxes to test it out and get a feel for what it can do and all that stuff. And also to test the claim that it is lead core. I've got a couple other rounds here that I'm going to compare it against because this is pretty important stuff for you guys to know. It turns out, I'll just let the cat out of the bag right now. Turns out it is not completely metal or steel free, the projectile I mean. So there is the, let's see if I can zoom in on the marking, Red Army Standard 7.62 round. Okay, that's that one right there. Right here is 7N6 5.45 round. Still have a fair amount of that stuff. Here is a Tula 7.62. All right. This, for comparison, is an Aguila 7.62 by 50. Sorry, what does it say on it? Anyway, this is basically a 308 round. 7.62 by 51. That's what that is. And this is not claimed to have any steel anywhere, so we're going to use that for comparison. And here's another Tula 223. All right. So let's start from this end. Tula 223. I know this is bimetal jacketed because I think the package even says so. And this right here is a little magnetic tray, okay, for capturing like screws and stuff, and for just a little bit of a I don't know what you call it, kind of a standard that we all will reference. That's what the steel tray does to the screw, okay? And the screw will even kind of lift the tray up a little bit if you get it in just the right spot. Not doing it now, but you can kind of tell, yeah, there you go. You can tell that this is definitely a steel screw being attracted by the magnet inside this tray. This is the Tula 223 round, should be no surprise. Does the same thing, okay? Now the steel jacket, of course, will stick, or that is to say the steel case will stick, of course. But what looks to be a copper coated projectile is actually, it's a lead core, but it's then got a steel jacket around that and then copper around that. So that's why they call it bimetal. But that is obviously doing, sticking there. For a control, again, here is the brass, like with brass cased, with no metal or no steel in the projectile. Not sticking whatsoever. Nowhere. As we know that it won't, because it's got no steel in it, all right? And then, of course, the 7N6. And it is sticking because that has, I think that actually does have like a steel core, not just bimetal. But look at that. It's not even sticking as much as the bimetal ones are. Okay? But there is steel in that one. Then the Tula, of course, and the Red Army Standard, once again, is what the last one we're going to look at. And yeah, as you might have guessed, Red Army Standard is a bimetal jacketed bullet. That's a shame. That's a disappointment to me. I think I've seen some reference to this online. Some people saying that the Red Army Standard is bimetal, is a bimetal projectile or jacketed projectile, just as any of the Tula stuff is. I think I've seen stuff saying that, but again, the package just says lead core, which does not let on that this is a bimetal jacketed bullet. So that's a problem if you want to take this stuff down to some place like Frontside or some other training school or an indoor range or something that doesn't want any steel in the projectile. That is going to be a big problem. That is the deal. That's the skinny on Red Army Standard 7.62 at least. I know they're releasing other calibers. I think there's some 223 out there. And I think there's also a 5.45 if you can ever find it. I definitely want to find some of that. Late Boy Scout, that has been Vlog Thursday, giving you guys a little bit of an update and, you know, kind of a story about the Red Army Standard 7.62. Hope it's been helpful. We'll see you guys later.